Emmanuel, God is with us. Emmanuel, God is with us. It is time to make a change. It is the beginning of November. These are my beautiful mums that I picked up at Home Depot for around $2 each. And I want to show you this beautiful flower. This is a new favorite. I can't believe I found this at Home Depot. Look, I love the center of it. It's open and then it has kind of a semi-double bloom around it. I really like that. And the color, it was dark at Home Depot, but now that I got it out in the sun, it's got some nice fiery colors you can see. I think it's very festive, and the colors are really more Christmassy colors to me. And then I got this white one, again going with a Christmassy theme. This one isn't doing as well in the house, so I'm going to repot this into the garden, and I will see if it offers pollen to the bees. If the bees don't make any use of it, then I will get rid of it and get another chrysanthemum that will give pollen. I like chrysanthemums because they are year-round plants in my area. They get actually 3 feet tall, and they cover themselves in blooms in the fall season and in the winter season. You know, the bloom lasts a long time. These have been blooming for 2 or 3 weeks. I got them when they were in bud, and the buds have opened up in the house. I had them in the dark, and then once they started showing signs of stress, I moved them to the window here, and now it's time to plant them out in the garden. But the reason why I'm doing this today is because I got some amaryllis at the same time as I got these. I picked up these amaryllis for $5. I got this from Home Depot, and I want to show you something about it. Just wait for it. These are the amaryllis leaves. This is the amaryllis bulb. This is my favorite color. I did a lot of research on what they looked like, and I like all the big amaryllis. I like the huge flowered amaryllis. I like the single form, and I love to see that little tongue thing comes out of it. I think that is so artistic. But you see, this has these 3 petals, 3 leaves there, and I want to show you. See how thin the leaves are? I hope I'm capturing this for you. And one leaf even has a brown tip on it. Now if you go over here, you see how this one, which is the flower, it's thick. It's got a dull edge on it, and it's thick, like at least twice the width of the bulb, and it's coming up a little bit later. A lot of times amaryllis don't have very many leaves until after they flower, so they'll naked flower, just the flower by itself, and then later on the long artistic leaves come out. I like allium and amaryllis leaves. I like them a lot, even more than these bushy leaves, because I live in a temperate zone. Now, I have another comparisons for you. The reason why I'm doing this video now is because I was watching somebody else's amaryllis video, a much bigger YouTuber than me. And somebody left a comment that they bought amaryllis from Home Depot, and they couldn't get these cheap amaryllis to flower. So how did I, once you get that bulb, once you get the flower coming up like that, it's a done deal. You're going to get it to flower. So how did I do that? I'm going to tell you. What I do is I leave my amaryllis in a dark place. I don't plant it out until I see a flower bulb. So this leaf, I'm not going by that. This leaf has been up for 2 or 3 weeks. It was shorter, and then it started growing more. And I just didn't worry about it. Today I saw that flower peeking up and I'm like, okay, it's go time. Don't plant them till they flower. Also, the other thing is when you're buying the cheap bulbs from Home Depot, try to get the biggest ones you can. This was the biggest one I could get in this one. And this is about, let me see, 1, 2. This is about a 3-inch bulb. A 5-inch bulb is even better. The fatter the bulb is, the more flowers you will get. These flower stalks can come up one at a time. So you can get a flower stalk now. If the bulb was bigger, you could get another one later and all like that. This one, I put in a warm place on top of some sand, and I put a little water on the sand so it could have more humidity. And so the leaves on this one are growing greener and thicker. You see we have 4 beautiful leaves on this one, and then there is the flower bulb, which is much greener on this one than the one that I had in the dark. But the bottom line is wait until you see that flower bulb. Wait until you see the flower coming out to plant it. And then when you plant it, you got to keep them dry. These are, both of these plants like to be on the dry side. Like, I let the soil turn to powder on these mums. There's not one leaf on here that's brown. Now, the flowers are a little bit brown, but I think that was more of a light issue. But I've not watered mums for a month. And as long as they got some light, low light, they don't need highlight. This is not a highlight space. They do just fine. With these, the light is making it greener and that one is growing faster. Let's compare these 2 bulbs to see if there is a difference. Not much of a difference. They're about the same size. Although I have to admit, I tried to get the biggest bulbs I could. Okay? But they're about the same size. I got 3-inch bulbs. So now I'm going to plant them out. That's my tip. I got these cheap $5 bulbs. They came just with this sticker on them. I got the apple blossom. The red variety had a bigger bulb. They had a 5-inch bulb in the red one, but I wanted this one, and I know how to take care of this plant to increase the size of the bulb, and that's what we're going to do today. I am in a dry, arid environment, so I use compost. This is garden soil. Cheap. It holds humidity very well. It won't break down in the house. It's full of microbes that will keep the bulb healthy and safe. That's what I use. I'm in a desert. There's no water particles in my air. The sun zaps them, even in the fall. Most of the climates of the world where you have humidity and moss and I hear people talking about stuff growing out of the soil and stuff like that. You want to use this sterile indoor potting mix. If it says indoor, that means it's sterile. This stuff has hardly any water in it. Oh yeah, designed to be less prone to gnats. I don't have any gnats, but this stuff dries out in my area within like 5 seconds, and it's just a powdery mess in my area. But if you are in an area where you could get gnats and stuff like that, you're making these as gifts for people, so you don't really want to take any chances. Use this indoor potting mix. I'm not using it because even a tough bulb like Amaryllis would be so thirsty it would really stop my progress. So just letting you know, those are the choices. The most important thing, indoor potting mix for most people is the safest way to go. If you're in a dry desert, temperate zone, that means no snow, no rain. No snow, no rain. Then you can use something thick and chunky like this. This is chunky too, and that's better for me. I'm using soil because I want to feed these bulbs. And if you look in here, I put my compost mixture in there. And I'm going to take my bulb here and put it in there. It's fine. There you go. That's it. That's another thing. In my area, we don't cover bulbs at all. There's no need to. I don't have to worry about that bulb rotting because it's just the only thing that it's touching is the root system. That's it. So I'm not planting it. I'm not making sure I don't get the soil any higher than the neck and all of that. This is 100% foolproof. My bulb will not rot. These creatures have sense. The roots in there will come out the bottom and they will go into the soil mixture. Now I'm using this pretty pot that I got from the Dollar Tree. And when I water this, the water will go down in the bottom of that, and that'll create some humidity, the same as if I were growing it on top of pebbles. And then this window, it's a cool window, so it should grow pretty slow. If I want it to grow faster, I will take it and put it in a hot window. So right now, this is a cool window, so it'll grow slow. I already know the buds coming up. Today is November 4th. So November 4th, how many days do we have till I would be giving away a Christmas gift? You have to think probably I would be giving away a Christmas gift if I could, probably around the 20th. So 20 days is 3 weeks. And then I have another 3 weeks here. So I have 6 weeks. And since I already have the bulb showing a flower, that should be just fine, you know, kind of thing. And, you know, I only like to give them gifts if they are actually flowering. I don't want to give them it as a gift before they start to flower because some people just have no clue and they might not be able to get them to flower. So I'm going to take you through the whole process and show you how I'm successful. Now, if you're in a house and it's 30 degrees, these plants like 60 degrees. So that's a difference you're going to have to make. This is not a plant that lives in 30 degrees by your window. I know you might think that's warm, but this plant will not think that's warm. My plants are also flowering because it's 50 to 70 degrees outside and the window is increasing that. So they're probably sitting in 70 degrees. I know I'm not spoon-feeding this to you, but if you want these to flower, you got to keep them warm. Okay? Warm. Not Alaska version of warm. They got to be Peru version of warm. They like it to be around 70 degrees. If it's 50 degrees, they think they need to go dormant. And I think a lot of you guys are thinking, oh, 50 degrees is warm. And so your plant is staying in dormancy. That's why it's not flowering. I had mine in the dark. And as it got warmer, you can see the difference. The one that I had in 70 degrees is much further along than the one that I had in 50 degrees. Now they both sent up a flower shoot. And now I'm transferring them to some moist soil. I'm going to take another week. I'm not watering them today because, you know, Amaryllis are self-contained. It's not, the less you do, the better. When I'm going to let them try to put roots into the moist soil, let me show you. This soil is moist. It's not wet. It's not hydrated, but they don't have any roots yet, so I'm not going to worry about it. Okay? And we'll be fine and dandy. I just have a little sneak peek in behind me. I'm in my little secret garden. And my pumpkin has set. Yes, I have a pumpkin patch now. God is good. And I just wanted to say thank you for watching my video. And Jesus loves you. And I love you with all the Jesus in me. Be blessed, beautiful.